How do you transform a colossal church into a futuristic house? Or turn a dilapidated old barn into a stylish family home? From industrial workshops to crumbling cottages, this series follows brave homeowners.
There is a chance that they might not fit, so it's a little bit scary.
As they take on the seemingly impossible challenges.
If it goes either way, it could really damage the window.
There you go.
Of transforming historic structures never built to be lived in. We explore the ancient master crafts, an ingenious modern design it takes to build an historic home.
Well, that'll last for hundreds of years.
In this episode,
Yes!
a couple in Devon transform this religious Art Deco relic
You would have gone down the steps at that end and been baptised into the pool. Fully dunked.
into a historically sympathetic yet very modern home.
It's amazing. The views are insane.
But it's not without its challenges.
Seeing it sort of wave around in the wind, you worry that it's not going to be strong enough.
We're losing light. It's winter time. It's dark. It's cold. It is pretty difficult.
Rural Devon is a dream destination for relic renovators, an ancient landscape ripe with historical buildings just waiting for a second chance at life. One couple with a passion for restoration is Alice and Daniel Shamroth. They met in 2008 and have been married for 9 years. They enjoy spending their weekends exploring junk shops and car boot sales, hunting for vintage gems to upcycle. Alice is a wedding photographer, while Daniel, also known as Shammy, is a musician. This couple have set their sights on breathing new life into this religious relic, a former Christian gospel hall in Bradninch in Devon. It was designed by the Salvation Army's very own architect, Oswald Archer, in 1936, who built hundreds of halls for the organisation right across the UK.
As soon as we walked into the gospel hall, we felt immediately, yes, we could do something with this. The vision was so strong and so instant.
We can both walk into an old building and see potential where other people would see problems or they wouldn't know what to do with it.
You never want to show too much enthusiasm in front of an estate agent, but both of us afterwards in the pub said, yeah, that's the one.
Alice and Shammy are no strangers to restoring historic relics. In 2019, they transformed this 1850s chapel into their very first home together on an extremely tight budget of £130,000. They used an impressive array of money-saving ideas, including large-scale upcycling,
Yeah, the pews are back.
the goodwill of friends, and an intuitive eye for a stylish bargain.
That's amazing.
To create a home together. Financial pressures forced the couple to sell the building in 2020, but they made a healthy profit, with the buyer shelling out £350,000 for the property. The sale gave Alice and Shammy just under £200,000 profit to invest into a new property to restore. So now they're gearing up to give it another go, and it looks like this dynamic duo have spotted another building with great potential.
Started looking once we knew we had a buyer.
Yeah.
This is a 1930s red brick sort of triangular gospel hall. It was originally a Salvation Army hall.
The Gospel Hall cost the couple £117,000 to buy, nearly 3 times as much as their previous project. and it's a much bigger property to restore. In the 1970s, the building became a gospel hall, a meeting place for independent Christians.
These came from the original builders who were right opposite the Gospel Hall. They did all of the work. This is the main footprint of the building, and there are cottages here. So it's quite funny to think what those cottages thought when this bit of a monstrosity really was built in the 1930s. It's quite austere, but I absolutely love it. Huge windows, enormous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big double height, 5 metre high ceilings.
So you've got rooms below ground.
The one thing the property didn't come with was a garden.
Again, we've only got the footprint, so even less land, except we have a plan. Yes, the roof terrace will be the whole of that. We're hoping that we can have a glass geodesic dome.
Shammy and Alice have big plans to transform this religious gathering place into a stylish and quirky home, while paying homage to its original Art Deco design. On the lower floor, they'll create 2 new double bedrooms, each with an ensuite. On the ground floor, they'll convert the Gospel Hall's raised platform into their master bedroom with bathroom. The old congregational space will become their open-plan living dining area, with an original pew taking centre stage as seating. To generate outside space, they must build a 5-metre staircase and hatch to access the roof, which they will transform into a 100 square metre roof terrace, complete with raised beds and hopefully a space-age dome, their very own Eden project. With planning permission in place, Alice and Shammy waste no time tackling this mammoth project. In the basement, they demolish the dividing walls to make way for the 2 new bedrooms. They build a wall between the living area and the master bedroom, and insulate and plaster the ceiling, keeping the original decorative coving intact.
Woo! Oh my God, it's like a chamber.
They also unearth the hall's original christening pool. Dividing the cavernous heart of a religious building is a great way to utilise space. But that doesn't mean you need to sacrifice its ecclesiastical character. Original architectural features can be integrated to separate living spaces. And the height that defines these buildings can be utilised to create extra rooms, adding more floor space and flair. One of the first areas that Alice and Shammy are eager to fit out in the Gospel Hall is the kitchen, so they can reclaim their own private space to cook, eat and relax. Back in 2019, when they transformed their chapel, they repurposed the old pews to create some stylish, upcycled kitchen cabinets. But with scant original furniture in the Gospel Hall and some awkward angled walls, this time they're having to buy bespoke.
Oh my goodness. Yes! Oh my gosh. Perfection. For the first time ever, I want to wash up.
A kitchen can be an expensive addition to a home, but ever the bargain hunter, Alice has come up trumps.
These traditionally are about £5,000, but I got a reconditioned one for £1,500. It's absolutely beautiful. We've decided to go all electric because we're going to have solar panels.
With £3,500 saved on the cooker, Alice and Shammy head off to do what they do best, hunting for stylish pieces that will give their project a vintage flair without blowing the budget.
We are looking for anything Art Deco. There's so much in here.
That's very Art Deco.
It's got some plastic roses in it. There you are.
Thank you.
In this treasure trove, it's not long before they find what they're looking for.
Oh, this is nice.
That's lovely. Very Art Deco.
Now, they just have to bargain.
Hi. Hi, nice to see you.
So we were wondering what you might be able to do.
It's nice that they're going to be up and permanently displayed, as it were. So, yeah, I'm sure we can find you some special pricing on some of these things. So what do you say, 100 for those ones, £80 for all of that lot there together? Got yourself a bargain. I've been more generous than I'm known to be.
That's a deal.
Lovely, thank you very much, thank you.
It's now 4 months since Shammy and Alice started their renovation of the Gospel Hall, and work is well underway. Inside, they've reused the original lobby doors to provide access to the master bedroom and the lower floor where work is underway. They have kept the pair of original steps that lead up to the raised stage and will fit a pew between them to create a striking feature. They've unearthed and restored many original features of the structure, including the porch doors and the ceiling coving.
Our incredible builders spent a long time creating the stud work. He said it's the biggest stud wall that he's ever built in his life. And then the curves were created with mesh and then plastered over the top.
A building with 5-metre-high ceilings and large open-plan rooms requires a lot of heating, which could cost a fortune with a traditional boiler. So Shammy and Alice have an alternative plan.
We've gone for underfloor. We're going to hopefully have an air source heat pump.
Installing an air source heat pump will bring down their energy bills. It works by absorbing heat energy from the air outside and then concentrating it for use inside. It will produce all the hot water for the house and warm the rooms via underfloor heating. The system is 3 times more efficient than gas and could save them nearly £1,000 a year.
It depends on how well we can insulate the windows and do all of that sort of thing, but we're hopeful we can get there.
Yeah.
And because of that, yes, we had to put underfloor heating, insulation underneath, and then a new ply floor. This conducts it much better than wood.
Transforming this giant gospel hall is a huge task. But they now need to decide what to do with one of the building's most unusual historic features, the Gospel Hall's font, concealed under the floor.
This was a total immersion font that we discovered. Yeah, you would have gone down the steps at that end and been baptised
Been
into
dunked.
the pool. Fully dunked.
First of all, we were thinking maybe we could have a swimming pool.
In our lounge.
Yeah, maybe put an animal in there, a shark or something. And then we thought that was a bit too weird, didn't we? So we've gone for a wine cellar.
Restoring and reimagining all these period features isn't proving cheap. They've set aside around £180,000 of profit from the sale of their first home to invest in the transformation of the hall. But it's not enough. To boost their finances, they are working for a landlord in the nearby village of Bickley, helping him do up this Grade 2 listed 15th century inn, transforming it into a luxury holiday home.
I'm doing the project management and interiors, and Shammy's doing a load of plastering and general sort of building.
It will sleep 28 people and be renamed the Leaping Trout. In just over 12 months, they need to organise the renovation of 12 bedrooms, a kitchen, lounge area, a private bar, and even a cinema room.
Taking out the thatch for the third dormer window. It's amazing how thick it is.
It's a huge amount of extra work, but they are ploughing any money they earn from this job into the transformation of their own fixer-upper.
I got 9 freestanding baths for £2,000. This is a staircase that I bought on a social media marketplace site for £200. It's absolutely beautiful.
Alice and Shammy are now 7 months into restoration work at the Gospel Hall. With work well underway inside, the couple turn their attention to the outside. They've devised a unique solution to the challenge of creating an outdoor space for their property. They're going to build it up here, on the roof.
Yeah, amazing views. The first time I came up here, this was like the wow factor. We've got planning for a kind of triangular shape glass structure. Yeah, so stairs will come up there. It'll be enclosed in the glass structure. Obviously, we're hoping to have the geodesic dome, which Alice kind of stumbled upon in an Alice way, where she finds amazing things.
A glass pyramid would cost £45,000 and take a long time to manufacture, so they're hoping they will get permission to build a dome instead. It will be made up of 147 interlocking hexagonal polycarbonate panels, each one with a slightly different size and 200 times more durable than glass. The panels are just 3 millimeters thick, but once assembled into a dome, they can withstand a Category 2 hurricane. The dome will cost 15 times less than the pyramid, around £3,500, and will give 360-degree views. Way more value for money. The scale of ambition and creativity here is admirable. But with 2 huge projects now on the go, every minute of their day is filled with renovation work. Over at the Leaping Trout, work ramps up. The team are finishing the floors, updating the electrics, and the kitchen is nearly complete. Meanwhile, at the Gospel Hall, Alice and Shammy have got the green light from the planning committee for the roof terrace dome. Lead builder Cody is in charge of assembling its 147 hexagonal pieces.
Got the timber base built all around, fixed it to the floor. The hatches go in the middle there. Now we can get the dome on. This is the first dome I built, but I've seen a pub nearby had one, so stopped in there for a few pints and had a look at it, but can't really remember a lot of that, so apparently it takes 3 people 10 hours, but I don't think it's going to take that long. I've got a meal booked at 7 p.m, so I can't be any later than that. Or else the missus will get angry.
Extensions to religious buildings, no matter what size, can solve a multitude of restoration challenges. A modern home can be created while honouring and enhancing the original architecture. Much-needed light can be channeled into dark spaces, and futuristic life hacks much more easily integrated. And the added living space can be as big as your imagination. Operation Dome construction gets in full swing. Well, Coley does have a dinner date to get to tonight.
Bit like putting a tent together.
It takes 2 hours to secure the first row of panels. But working on an exposed roof over 5 meters above the ground means you face a battle with nature.
Seeing it sort of wave around in the wind, you worry that it's not going to be strong enough.
I think that's only the top layer, because when
Yeah.
you feel this bit that has connected, that's way more solid.
The more the structure goes up, the more rigid it should be, until it hopefully becomes a hurricane-proof pied-à-terre.
It's a really, really great investment. The cost of it in total was £3,500, which is amazing. And considering we got quotes to build something bespoke for about 40,
Yeah.
we're really, really pleased with that. And if we wanted in the future, we could take away with us. This is a huge step forward for us. We've been waiting. There's been a lot of time and money that's gone into kind of hidden things so far in the building. So this is one of the kind of really visual, prominent things that we've spent our cash on that is, you know, and goes up in a day.
The dome will be a fun, futuristic addition to their roof terrace, At the moment, there's just one slightly terrifying way of reaching it. The challenge of building a staircase to reach up to the rooftop in this historic building won't be easy. A week later, Shammy and Alice have made good progress across all 3 floors of the Gospel Hall, and now one crucial but large element is about to be installed.
Today, we've got the stairs going in, which is incredibly exciting. We've been climbing up a triple ladder to get up onto the roof, which I've been terrified by, and today will be the first time we'll actually be able to climb a proper staircase up into the dome onto the roof.
Shammy and Alice were quoted £25,000 for a bespoke 5-metre staircase. But yet again, they found a way to get what they want at a fraction of the price.
We ordered 2 staircases online from a really, really good value company, and we're joining them together with bespoke carpentry. That in total cost us less than £5,000. There is a chance that they might not fit, so it's a little bit scary.
They're saving a lot of their budget by not buying made-to-measure. But joining 2 separate staircases together will be challenging in this historic building. The stairs must lock into a hatch between 2 fixed ceiling beams. If they install the staircase from the bottom and find it does not fit at the top, it would be an expensive mistake. So they must build from the top down to perfectly engineer the upper staircase into the hatch. Then they will build a landing to even out any small discrepancies between the upper and lower staircases so they join together flawlessly. This will give Shammy and Alice access to their rooftop space. It's been months of planning and measuring to ensure that the design of the staircase passes building regulations. They need to make a few final adjustments to make sure everything fits.
That bit will sit in the timber over there, so it's got to be good and fairly clean underneath.
You all right, guys?
Yeah.
The moment of truth.
Now forward.
Yes!
Right.
Look at that!
It's in.
That's the snuggest fit, guys. That's
Good work.
amazing. To the millimetre, this guy is. Honestly, he gets stressed if he's a millimetre out. You go first.
You go first, Cozy.
Yeah.
Just in case it falls.
Just in case it falls,
Yeah. Yay, stairs!
We have stairs.
This is so cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Super cool.
Oh my God. Wow. It's incredible.
All good. Not got sacked yet, so.
The following day, the stairs are complete, and Shammy and Alice are already working hard to realise another big, bold idea for their new home.
We're really excited. This is something that we wanted right from the beginning.
They're turning this 40-square-metre dividing wall into a giant canvas for a mammoth Art Deco-inspired mural.
The mural is really, really important to us. It was really important that we got the right person to do something. So we commissioned Lizzie.
The couple are using the specialist skills of a friend to keep costs down, just as they did with their first restoration project.
I photographed at their wedding in return for them doing some painting and decorating, and then it sort of evolved into her doing the mural for us. We did a lot of skill swaps.
Yeah.
It massively helps with the budget.
It's an excuse to hang out with your friends
It
as
is,
well,
exactly.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. It's amazing. It's changed so much since I was last here. OK, so here we go.
Oh,
That's awesome.
absolutely beautiful.
As you can see, the birds are the same. It's just a case of the circles in the background.
At the moment, I'm drawn to the one on the left. I love the slightly larger circle.
Art Deco artists use circles and other geometric shapes to give their aesthetic a futuristic look. They use gold and other metallics to reflect the prosperity of the era.
How big are you thinking that central circle would be?
So you want to give it some breathing space around the edge. So I'd say sort of 2 meters wide circle and then the wings coming out.
Wonderful. She has nailed the brief.
Totally
Beautiful.
exceeded my expectations.
She's got a bit of a challenge ahead, but she seemed confident, and yeah, we can't wait to see it.
It's now the middle of winter, and over at Alice and Shammy's day job, they have just 1 month to go before the first guests arrive at the Leaping Trout pub. The pressure is on.
Anxiety levels are quite high. We've still got 2 bedrooms to finish, carpets to go down, some decorating, and most importantly, to get the heating on in here. It's absolutely freezing. We are working 7 days a week and probably 14, 16-hour days. Then we're going to the Gospel Hall, trying to finish off stuff there. So there's no respite. We're losing light, it's winter time, it's dark, it's cold. It is pretty difficult.
The winter weather is starting to cause potentially devastating problems at the Gospel Hall. 2 weeks of torrential rain have caused the temporary door on the dome to leak, allowing water to trickle through the open roof down towards the electrics inside the house. It wouldn't be a problem if the doorway to the dome, a high-tech electric roof hatch, had been installed, but red tape has meant it's taken 6 months to arrive from Holland. And now it has turned up, Shammy discovers that it's damaged. It's a major setback.
There's a huge dent in the casing here. It's completely bent off the hinges. It's an electronic opening lid, which should open flush, and it's just been completely bent out of shape. Hopefully the guys can manipulate the lid, get it bent back into shape and working. Then we'll move it into the dome and see if we can get it into position and kind of see if it's going to work.
To add to the pressure today, the heating engineers are also on site.
We're currently putting in the cables for the heat pump, approximately 30 meters in total. So they run from the cylinder downstairs up to the unit on the roof, which will allow us to power it up, get the heat pump spinning, and get the radiators and the hot water heating up.
In the next sort of 12 to 24 hours, we should have heating in the building.
But today is one of those days. It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
The guys have literally been trying to bend out all the hinges, bend out all the bits that were not straight and flush. They have also been shaving the edges of this void. They've got to get the electrics in underneath, then they've got to get the lid on top. Everything's not sitting flush at the moment. It's just a bit of a puzzle just to kind of slot everything in. And this weather's not really helping very much.
One more cranking. There you go, stop there, done.
Even after a whole day of well-intended wrestling with the hatch, it's not going well.
It's still not quite in place, so possibly another 24 hours of battling with this to get it flush and in place and watertight. So we might have another night exposed to the elements, but what's one more night?
By morning, they've managed to solve the problems with the hatch. And it's becoming clear to both Alice and Shammy that finishing their renovation is evolving from a dream into reality.
We're really near the end now.
Really
We're touching distance, aren't we?
Yeah.
So the plan is get it habitable enough to move in just before Christmas, Christmas party,
Big party.
Christmas dinner, and then finish everything else off afterwards. And we are literally, it's tangible.
Yeah, we're getting close to sign off now, you know, with the roof hatch going in, air source going in.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not far off now, are we?
We've been holding off visitors because we've said we've got no heating, no flushing loo, no hot water. And now we've got all those things.
Yeah.
So brilliant. We can start inviting people over. We can, properly get settled in and start enjoying it.
"11 months after Alice and Shammy began renovating 2 historic buildings in Devon, their day job renovation of the Leaping Trout, a former 15th century inn, is now complete, sensitively restored and updated. Their work here helped fund the rebuild of what is now their new home nearby, the old Gospel Hall. And what a fantastic job they've done on this splendid building.
One of the things we absolutely fell in love with when we first moved here was the doors. We just absolutely love these original doors.
And we really wanted to celebrate them. So doing them this sort of colour, this sort of bluey grey, I think goes really well with the brick. And then it starts the theme that continues on inside.
11 months ago, this was an abandoned building, left bereft of a congregation. Now, it's a joyful, warm space once more. One that honours the heritage of the time it was built.
So originally, when you came in, there's a big wall immediately in front of you. We really wanted to create an opening so that you came straight into the room this way and then have something as a focal point. Otherwise, you're facing a blank wall. So it's perfect. And the way that the gold circle echoes the size of the lights, and then it sits so perfectly within the 2 doors, and it's that sort of Art Deco symmetry that we were after.
And the mural does indeed complement the light fittings perfectly.
I mean, I got an amazing deal on them. They're about £200 each, which is pretty good. For us, it's like investing in the right things, and they're the first thing you see when you come in, so it was definitely worth the investment.
Underneath their bespoke staircase leading to the roof, they've created a cosy space for musician Shammy's prized possession.
And then we've got this piano.
Yeah.
So Alice very kindly bought me this piano as a late
Birthday straight Christmas present.
It's a 1930s mini grand, and it was £350. And it came all the way from London. People just don't want them anymore. They don't have the space. And we had the perfect space.
And talking of perfect spaces, the wine cellar is complete.
You can still see the old sinkhole down there.
That's the original steps.
Throughout the rest of the house, they've also kept close to the historic brief. Downstairs, where once there were 2 abandoned storage spaces, there's now 2 bedrooms, each with an ensuite. Brass accents throughout add touches of Art Deco elegance. Upstairs, the master bedroom bathes in diffused light from the original 3-metre-tall windows. The velvet furnishings in geometric patterns nod to 2 popular trends of the 1930s. They've clad the ensuite in Art Deco-inspired tiles and flooring, clinical shapes that work beautifully alongside a vintage table that forms the base for 2 sinks. But don't be fooled by its historical ambience. This modern couple have designed their new home with cutting-edge technology at every turn. The fire is powered by bioethanol, meaning there's no smoke, making it more environmentally friendly. And everything out of reach can be operated by an almost invisible control panel embedded in the marble kitchen island.
We've got these smart system integrated now, which is really exciting. So that does the lighting, the heating. You can do it all from your phone. But even more exciting than that is that we've got a pad here on the island, so we can change the lighting with a touch of the button here. We can change the audio, so you can flick through tracks, because we've got the speaker system.
This smart system can even open a portal to another world.
So we can open the hatch from here, we can open the hatch from the kitchen island, we can open the hatch from our phones. We haven't quite set that up yet. It's amazing, the views are insane. You can come up here on a really cold day and have a cup of coffee and sit here in the warm. It's so warm all the time.
Yeah, nice and cosy on a rainy day.
Yeah.
This futuristic addition to their home, Shammy and Alice have created a botanical oasis, a haven for tropical plants, and an all-year, all-weather place to relax and unwind, taking in the spectacular rooftop views.
It's a geodesic dome, so it just self-supports. Basically, the hatch forms the waterproof thing between the house and here, and then keeps in the heat, and then this is essentially like a greenhouse over the top. And then you can also shut the hatch when you're up here.
With the
Remote control. It's like being in a spa. You can come up and have your morning coffee in your pyjamas and just look at the view. Even in the pouring rain and gales, it's just really lovely. So this is our roof terrace. It's just
pretty special.
Incredible. The views out here are insane. This building is just full of surprises, and this is like the ultimate surprise when you come up the stairs.
This couple have taken a building squeezed between houses with no outside space whatsoever and created a 100 square metre garden in the sky, fully decked and bordered with raised beds to grow plants and support wildlife.
Oh, it's just incredible. We're certainly very proud of it. To have got to this point, and we've literally only just moved in a few weeks ago, had our first night here, and it just feels incredible. And it's everything that we dreamed of and more, to be honest. And it's just such a lovely space to be in and to live in. And
It's gorgeous. We love the double height. We just love the light in here, feel to this space. The acoustics I love, obviously.
you've already written 2 songs since literally in the last couple of weeks, just been inspired by the space, and I've been cooking away. And the thing that got me through the whole thing was just imagining cooking and being in this space. And we've done both those things. It's been amazing.
This is our space that we put together, and there's a lot of pride to be had in that.
I think there's certain milestones along the journey where we began to see our vision take shape. You know, finishing the mural was an amazing one, the dome going up. So in amongst all of the dirt and the dust and the exhaustion, you have these moments where you just get really excited and you can see it, the ideas all coming together. One of the challenges, always, with this sort of conversion is to celebrate the things that were here, try and keep as much as we could and add to it, but make the things that we've added, your modern elements, I want to always make them feel like they've always been there, to blend in so that people really question whether they were here, you know, originally or not. You get used to having to do things really quickly, so you can't spend 3 weeks deciding what tiles you want. You just have to just decide and go. So that's great. You're living it and you're breathing it. What is hard is not having any respite. Your home is a building site, your work is a building site, and it's relentless.
I mean, there's so many highs and lows when you do a renovation like this. There's financial strains, you know, there's emotional strains, there's the kind of logistical nightmares of dealing with builders being under your feet and the noise and the mess and not having your clothes and everything being in a lockup and not being able to find anything. And it just goes on and on and on, and it can feel never-ending at times. So to actually get to the finish line, to be signed off, to sit in this space and finally feel finished and look around, and that's an amazing feeling.
But what sort of experience and knowledge did they bring from the renovation of their previous property, a chapel, to the Gospel Hall?
There was definitely some similarities between the Hidden Chapel, our previous project, and here. I think probably the biggest sort of connection between the two really was obviously they're both ecclesiastical spaces, and we were trying to fit bedrooms and things into a space that wasn't designed to be a house originally. So that comes with challenges. You've got to work out where the staircase is going to go. You've got to work out how to get a kitchen in or extra bedrooms. And you've only got the curtilage. So the Hidden Chapel literally had, our last place literally had just the curtilage of the building and a tiny bit out the back because we demolished a meeting room to create a terrace. And similarly here, we didn't have any outside space. Obviously, we went up on the roof. So, yeah, so there are always these kind of challenges, but for me, that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah.
So
You love problem solving.
I love problem solving. So having a space that already has restrictions, to me, I don't see that as a negative thing at all. I see that as a brilliant, positive challenge.
There's no doubt they've created a beautiful home. But when the numbers are crunched, has it all cost them more than they intended? Well, Alice and Shammy's original budget for the renovation work was £180,000. They've spent closer to £240,000, so their total outlay, adding in the initial cost of the building, was £360,000. However, a recent valuation puts the finished Gospel Hall Chapel at around the £650,000 mark. With a potential profit of close to £300,000, it clearly shows how clever and creative they've been with their finances.
I love it, I love it. Lots of bargaining, lots of constantly keeping my eyes open, 1,000 tabs open on my computer. I think I've probably saved in the region of about 35,000 to 40,000 by just getting really good deals and just coming up with creative alternatives. So getting a price for something, thinking that's ridiculous, whether it was the staircase or, you know, the roof terrace, being able to break it down into elements and make your own version.
So a few of those and you can suddenly drive down the cost of conversion quite heavily.
Yeah, exactly.
It is infectious sort of process, doing a build, and seeing something from start to finish and seeing the kind of dream come to life, and we do love it.
Definitely, we've got a few more in us. Definitely a long holiday is needed first.
Flair, passion, and respect. All necessary attributes to restore this place so beautifully. And of course, there's the other essential, support. Alice's mum gave them a place to stay in her home while they renovated their dream property. And she's popped over for a well-earned celebration.
I'm so proud of you both. Here's to your new home.
Thanks, Mum. Thanks for everything.
If I got you, if I got you, if I got you.